All right, ready to dive in. You said over some interesting stuff about this, your Google Guru guy.
Yeah.
And, well, today we're going to see what he's all about. We're going to figure out if these free Google tools are all they're cracked up to be. Can they really help businesses grow, like he says?
It's certainly a bold claim.
He's got the book, the podcasts, the whole shebang, so I'm definitely intrigued.
Well, let's see if he can back it up.
Yeah. So first things first, who is this your Google Guru?
Right, so his real name is Robin C. Stern, and looking at his background, he's had quite a journey. 40 years in tech and marketing, started out as a U.S. Marine veteran, owned a sign company. Now he's running a computer store called I Love My Geek.
Wow, that's quite the resume.
And on top of all that, he wrote this book.
Yeah, the using Google's free-ish book, right? It
Exactly.
makes you wonder, how does all that lead to being a Google Guru?
I know, right? What's the common thread?
Yeah, like how does being a Marine veteran connect to, say, Google Ads?
Well, from what I've gathered, his core message is all about empowerment. He wants business owners to take control of their own marketing.
Okay, so like a DIY marketing approach.
Exactly. And he's really passionate about using the tools that are already available, especially the free ones from Google.
I mean, that's a good point. So many businesses get sucked into these expensive marketing schemes.
Right. And he seems to have a real bone to pick with marketing agencies. He thinks they overcharge and overcomplicate things.
So he's like the anti-guru guru.
Haha. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, ditch the gurus, become your own guru.
Yeah.
Kind of catchy, actually.
Mm.
Maybe we're onto something.
But okay, that's all well and good. But does he actually practice what he preaches?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah. Does he have the results to back up these claims?
He says he does. He talks about how his computer store consistently ranks high on Google searches, for all the relevant keywords.
Oh, yeah. That's crucial these days.
And he boasts a 5-star rating with over 600 reviews on his Google business profile. Okay, that's impressive.
And he even shares the story about a low-cost campaign he ran for his TV mounting services. Apparently, it led to a huge increase in sales.
So it's not just talk. There's some substance there.
From the looks of it, yeah.
But how? How does he do it?
Well, he really emphasizes consistency and authenticity. Building a genuine online presence seems to be his main focus.
Yeah, that makes sense. You can't just fake it till you make it with Google.
No, not anymore. They're getting pretty good at sniffing out the fakes.
Right. And speaking of staying ahead of the curve, he's also a big proponent of Google Gemini.
Oh, yeah, Google's answer to ChatGPT. That's a whole other can of worms.
It is. I've heard a lot of buzz about Gemini, but haven't really had time to dig in.
Same here. But Robin seems to be all over it.
So what's the deal with this Gemini thing? Is it just another AI chatbot?
Well, it's a lot more than that. It can understand and respond to complex queries, like way beyond what we've seen before.
Okay, give me an example. Like, what can it actually do?
I'm glad you asked because he gives some pretty interesting examples. Like, imagine using it to calculate loan payments.
Okay, that's useful, I guess, but not exactly mind-blowing.
But get this, it can generate entire slide presentations from just your voice recordings.
What? Really?
Yeah, and it can write video scripts, identify customer objections.
Oh, hold on. So this thing can actually help you come up with marketing strategies.
Apparently so. It can even craft social media posts based on those identified objections.
Okay, now that's impressive. But how does it know what to say? Like, where is it getting this information?
It's all powered by Google's massive database, so it has access to a ridiculous amount of information.
So almost like having a whole marketing team at your fingertips.
Kind of, yeah. It's still early days, but the potential is definitely there.
No kidding. I'm starting to see why he's so excited about it.
Me too. But, even with all this fancy AI, it's not always smooth sailing.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, there's the story he tells about trying to create a Google business profile for your Google Guru.
Oh, yeah, I read about that. What happened? Did Google flag him or something?
Worse, they suspended his page.
What? Seriously? Why?
Because it had no online presence.
Wait, so even the Google Guru himself had to prove his legitimacy to Google?
Apparently so.
That's kind of ironic, don't you think?
It is, but it also makes a good point.
Which is?
That Google is really cracking down on fake profiles and spam.
So it's like they're saying, show us you're the real deal before we give you a platform.
Exactly. And it's a good lesson for all of us, really.
Yeah, like it's not enough to just exist online. You have to be visible, recognizable.
You have to build a brand that Google trusts.
It makes you think. What comes up when you Google your own brand?
Yeah, good question. Something to think about for sure.
Okay, so Google's getting tougher, but there are still things we can do to stand out.
Right, and Robin has a lot to say about that.
Okay, so spill the beans. What are his secrets? What does he recommend?
Well, first off, he's a big believer in using a branded domain email address.
So ditch the Gmail or Yahoo and go with something like your name at yourcompany.com.
Exactly. He says it makes a huge difference in how Google and even potential customers see you.
I get the customer part, looking more professional and all.
Yeah, it definitely adds a level of credibility.
But why would Google care? I mean, it's just an email address.
He argues that Google sees it as a sign of investment. You know, like you're serious about your business, not just some fly-by-night operation.
Interesting. I never thought of it that way.
It's like you're signaling to Google that you're in it for the long haul.
Okay, that makes sense. But what else? Does he have any other Google-specific tips?
Oh yeah, tons. We're just scratching the surface here.
All right, well, let's keep digging then.
Sounds good to me.
So where were we? Oh, right, branded email addresses. Okay, I get that it looks more professional, but like, is that really all it takes to impress Google?
It's not just about impressing Google, it's about sending the right signals. You know, showing them you're a legitimate business. And a branded email is just one piece of the puzzle.
Okay, so what else is in this puzzle?
Well, he's a big believer in engaging on social media.
Oh, here we go. Another guru telling us to spend all day on social media.
Not quite. It's not just about posting your own stuff.
Oh.
It's about actively participating in the conversation.
Yeah.
Commenting, liking, sharing other people's content.
Right, be a giver, not a taker. I've heard that before.
Exactly. But he takes it a step further.
How so?
He says Google sees this engagement as a sign of value.
So the more you interact, the more Google likes you.
You got it. It's all about showing Google that you're contributing to their platform.
And that makes you more likely to show up in search results.
Precisely.
Okay, I'm starting to see the logic here.
Yeah.
But let's be real. Who actually has time for all this social media stuff?
Well, he would probably say you make time.
Even for him to say, right?
True. But his point is that it's an investment.
Okay, fair enough. But what about actually marketing your products or services?
He has some interesting thoughts on that, too. He's a big believer in simplicity.
Okay, less is more, got it.
He tells this great story about a campaign he ran for his TV mounting services.
Oh yeah, the one that led to a bunch of new customers.
Exactly.
What did he do? Like billboards, TV commercials?
Nope, even simpler than that.
Really? I'm intrigued.
He just put up small signs and made a few social media posts, highlighting his 5-star rating on Google.
That's it?
Pretty much. And he included a phone number, of course.
And that's all it took?
Apparently so.
Wow, sometimes the simplest solutions are the best, huh?
It seems that way.
So it's like, don't overthink it. Just put yourself out there.
And highlight what you do best.
Exactly.
And he encourages looking for those easy opportunities that often get overlooked.
Like what?
Like advertising on your local Chamber of Commerce website.
Ooh, that's a good one. Never would have thought of that.
It's all about being creative and thinking outside the box.
Okay, so we've got the branded email, the social media engagement, the simple marketing. What else?
He's a big advocate for using a CRM system.
CRM, like customer relationship management.
That's the one.
Isn't that like really expensive and complicated?
It can be, but he specifically mentions one called Keep.
Keep? I've never heard of that.
It's designed to be user-friendly and affordable.
Okay, but what's the point of using a CRM?
He argues that it helps you automate tasks and work more efficiently.
Like what kind of tasks?
Things like social media posting and email marketing.
But doesn't that sound a bit impersonal?
He stresses that it's not about spamming people.
Okay, good.
It's about using data to personalize your content and build relationships.
Right, so it's more about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, but I'm curious, how does all this tie back to that story about his Google business profile being suspended?
Good question. It actually connects to his whole philosophy about how to approach Google.
Okay, I'm listening.
He says that too many business owners think of themselves as Google's customers.
Which makes sense, right? We use their products, we rely on their services.
Sure, but he argues that when it comes to marketing, you're actually the product.
Wait, what?
Think about it.
Okay.
Google's goal is to provide the best possible search results for their users. So to make the algorithm work for you, you have to make yourself the most appealing product on the shelf.
That's a pretty interesting way to look at it.
It's not about tricking Google.
So it's about making yourself genuinely valuable to them.
Exactly. He wants business owners to stop relying on expensive marketing agencies.
And become their own Google gurus.
Exactly.
I like it. It's empowering. you know,
Absolutely.
taking control of your own destiny.
And he gives you the tools to do it.
So it's a combination of technical know-how and marketing savvy.
Right. And he provides specific advice on things like optimizing your Google business profile.
And choosing the right keywords, crafting compelling content.
All the stuff that makes you stand out in searches.
Okay, so it's a lot of work, but it's doable.
He makes it seem that way.
And it's a constant process, right?
Absolutely. What works today might not work tomorrow.
So you got to stay flexible and keep learning.
He's a big believer in lifelong learning.
And he seems to walk the walk.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at all this stuff he's involved in.
The computer store, the book, the mastermind group.
Oh, yeah. And didn't you mention something about a nonprofit he founded?
Yeah.
It's called Be Better, Not Bitter.
Catchy name.
It is?
Apparently, it's been around since 2016.
Wow, so almost a decade.
And he's used it to launch some pretty interesting projects.
Like what?
Well, one that stands out is called March for Tech.
March for Tech?
Yeah.
What's that all about?
It's focused on providing technology to underserved communities.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
They've done work locally here in Georgia.
Cool.
And even internationally in Africa.
That's really impressive. It's great to see him using his success to give back.
Right. Combining business with philanthropy.
Yeah, it's not always about the bottom line.
And, it probably helps his business, too.
How so?
Well, it builds brand awareness, enhances his reputation.
Right. People
Yeah.
like to support businesses that do good.
Exactly.
That's like that saying, do well by doing good.
I like that.
So he's got the nonprofit, the computer store, the book, this whole Google guru thing going on. Is there anything else?
Actually, yeah. He's starting a millionaire mastermind group.
A mastermind group?
Yeah.
What's the point of that?
It's designed to help other business owners achieve significant growth.
Okay, so like a support group for entrepreneurs.
Kind of. But it's more than that.
How so?
It's about bringing together people who are serious about scaling their businesses.
Okay, so like a high-level networking group?
Yeah, something like that.
So what do they do? Just like sit around and brainstorm?
It's more structured than that. They share experiences, both the struggles and the wins.
Right. Learn from each other's mistakes.
Exactly. And hold each other accountable.
I can see how that would be valuable, especially when you're trying to reach that next level of success.
It's easy to get complacent,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So the group is meant to help people push past those plateaus.
Makes sense. It all comes back to that community aspect, doesn't it?
Yeah, he seems to really value that.
Like that advice you gave about networking.
Oh, yeah. Don't just ask people what they do. Ask them what they can do for you and how you can help them.
It's a two-way street.
Exactly.
Create those mutually beneficial relationships.
He's definitely a master networker.
Well, this deep dive has been fascinating.
I agree.
This Robin C. Stern guy is more than just a Google guru.
Yeah, he's the real deal.
He's a passionate entrepreneur with a unique perspective.
And a real commitment to giving back.
I especially appreciate his no-nonsense approach to Google.
Yeah, he cuts through the clutter.
Gives you actionable advice you can actually use.
No hype, just results.
It's inspiring, honestly.
It is.
It's like he's saying, stop overcomplicating things and just get out there.
And he's living proof that it works.
So if you're looking to up your Google game,
Robin C. Stern is definitely someone worth checking out.
you can find him at yourgoogle.guru. And if you want to connect with him directly, he's got a calendar link at calendar.robinstern.com.
It's been a pleasure taking this deep dive with you.
Likewise. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing. And remember, you too can become your own Google guru.